Tina. This is To the Inner Wild. I'm just doing a random, rolling out of bed. I have this stone in hand, trying to figure out what the meaning is of why I feel compelled all of a sudden to carry. I've been carrying it for the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. And, I had it in my crafting section as far as, I don't remember why I pulled it. But it's been a long time, like months maybe, since I picked this up. And I just realized it was there, like sitting on the ottoman. Anyway, we're doing a daily energy read, okay? Initially, I'm going to try to point some things out to you, okay? So this is like an awakening, like a flash flood moment, like your eyes are illuminated, right? And you see the mouth, how it's like, oh, right? So it's that awakening, that initial shock that does incur some sadness, right? You see the tears trailing off. In fact, it creates some kind of delusion and illusions in looking at, and by the way, my nails are very much lived in. So you can tell I'm living my life as much as I can in its most domestic quarantine sense. But you see that here. There's on one side of the face, one perspective is almost like an echoed effect of like certain frames of your life, yeah? And there's a certain nostalgia and sadness. It's almost like bittersweet in the movement of moving forwards with this vision, this new, clearer vision. And it may feel a little empty inside, and that's just really a natural part of the transformative process. So not to worry, not to despair. I do see that there is some heartbreak. There's an impression of a heart concave in here, as you can see. So this person looks almost marred by their burdens of heartbreak. As you can see, the fallen heart creates this impression over the mouth. So this person, you, aka you, me, we're speaking our truths in alignment to our vision, from past pains to current vision, which leads up to, there's something else, give me a second. So it's almost like a battle cry because it's a half mouth, like, oh, it's not just that, but it's like that call out. It's not just speaking out your truth, but it's also that therapeutic process involved in being able to speak it, to account for it, to testify towards your truth, which is so hard to bring forth. Because when you feel your feelings, it's important to honor them regardless if they feel like up or down, so that you can let them flow through you, and as a part of closure, to let that manifest outwards in the healthiest form, digesting its lesson in order to evolve, to move past it, yes? So there's that. It's starting to get a little dark right now. So this perspective, your pain offers direction. It's a pathway, a monument almost to direct you. It's not like as alarming as a red flag, though it can be, but it's more of like this gentle guidance, a sign from the universe to grow from, to move past, that you are moving in the right direction, that this is part of your path. And it is on the left eye, as you can see. So that's the intuitive receptive state. So this is in receptivity to what's going on the inside, not just outside, yeah? So it takes that reflection. There's some weightiness to here, which reminds me of like some kind of a thyroid issue, where there's like, I'm not finely tuned into that, but there's like hormonal imbalances that are sometimes, if I'm not mistaken, caused by stress, extreme stress. So the thyroid gland, I think, kind of tends to swell and causes imbalance, I think maybe in unison and in conjunction to those imbalances. If you are not letting that come forth in a healthy aspect when you bottle them inside, that it tends to manifest almost like a self-implosion with the swelling, as you can see here. It also depicts maybe like a heavier chin involved. So maybe there's some weightiness, like it's not quite baggage. It's something that you're dealing with that causes a heavier jaw. Like forlorn, like resentment, that heavy jaw, right? You know, when you have a heavy jaw, it's hard to smile. That's the implication there. And yet it is necessary. It is a call out. I'm also seeing here on the other side, what's going on in the thought process is, give me one moment, 6 minutes in. So this is what it looks like when you have a sleepover with me. Kinda. Like if we're cousins and we're just like, back in the days, that's what it was like. Like you don't give an ish about what you look like. You are who you are, regardless of whether you present yourself in polished format versus raw. So I think there's an essence of intimacy in knowing what the bond in spirit is like, that the exterior is irrelevant. Okay. There was something else in here. Oh, okay. So what I saw is the Fool card, on a journey, but this is in resting point. This is like a person that's going backpacking, as you can see here. I don't know if you can see it, sitting on a cliff, and this is his leg, almost like with a flipper, right, to navigate, to swim through life. And you see the elongated feet? Those are like scuba flippers. So maybe, you see the backpacking? See the backpack and then the hat right there? Well, it's hard to see now because the light is not helping. But perhaps there's meaning towards that the light, as it dims, it's harder to see, and so you have to find your resting points within your journey. The perspective over yonder looks like there's this bowl, or there's like a gap in between, okay, like almost like an abyss, not an abyss, but like a cliff. They seem in close proximity, but there's still an abyss in between. It reminds you of an ox. Is it Babe, the blue ox? Paul Bunyan is basically his familiar, which is I think a blue ox, which is very rare, I think. And it was this huge, like it's almost Clifford the big red dog reference, except in a more like masculine, stable, like elk-like force, strong, like the strength card, but on steroids, because Paul Bunyan is giant, right? And so it's a happy bull, okay, or ox. I just see horns, so I keep getting confused. But maybe there's like this Taurus-like, strong, stable, stubborn, almost like energy portrayed. As you can see, it's also on the edge of another cliff. What it's carrying is a burden, like this volcanic eruption, as you can see, on it towards its back. I'll do close-up pictures, but it's the volcano is erupting, and probably hence the distance, because the ox, the blue ox, stands in its truth, is stable and supportive, loyal, but this ox is the only one that can handle this volcanic eruption here, hence the divide, yeah? That the universe divides them because of that reality. And this volcano, when you look closer, I don't know if you can see, but as you look closer at the volcano, it looks like it's Humpty Dumpty. Like Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses, all the knights' men, right? King's men, which is the rest of the kingdom, couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. There's healing. Somebody that you're dealing with is going through healing. It's through a tower moment, this volcanic eruption, and with that Humpty Dumpty feel, it's almost feeling like the face on it is very upset, scorn, and feeling unstable in this volcanic thing. It's something that is weighing on him. He's wearing suspenders, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that. So it's like kind of old-fashioned in like tradition and thought, right? Old time, right? But at the same time, it feels like elementary foolishness in its positioning. So this ox is the only one that can really handle that that burden. It's a rarity. So I think this person is just observing that. So this could be either you're dealing with someone that's going through burdens that is at a distance, or more like that this person is seeing their burdens, almost like this is a spirit totem, and you know what they're going through, right? And there, as a personification, as an objective point of view, this is a person like projected outwards to be able to see this in an objective point of view, to make the most out of what's going on, right? Sometimes you're too much into your troubles to be able to see past them. So maybe that's the advice here, that amongst all this rubble that's flying, like frozen in the air, like the Matrix, that there's perspective to be gained, that it is a work of art in each stroke, that each fragment is meant to build a cohesive picture so that we can learn from it, so that we can actually grasp it in tangible aspect. I think that's it for now. It's a 13 minutes, 13:15 on the clock. There's also, in the way background, there's a star here. It's a North Star that's guiding this snapshot of life here. And remember, it's a snapshot. It's not the whole roll of film. It's a frame, a freeze frame picture of phase in your life. So if you're going through issues right now, just keep in mind that it is part of the process, and it's not the prettiest picture, but at least it provides a sense of serenity in its clarity. Once you're able to freeze frame it and stand apart from it and see all the floating pieces just like stagnant in the air, what is it that I need to see from this picture to move past it, to digest? Okay, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me. If you like the message, please hit the like button, subscribe, and feel free to comment on what your perspectives are, and if this resonated. I really appreciate it. And even if you are not going through it, it is equally as important to gain perspective on others that might be going through this. So anyway, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels. Thank you, higher selves. All right, see you again on the next one. Ta-ta for now.